So what do we actually mean when we talk about learning design? Well, I won't patronise you in defining learning, but I do think it's useful to unpack the word design. Here is one simple definition. Design is thinking made visual. So I've adapted this slightly in an attempt to explain digital learning design. So, digital learning design is pedagogy made visual. This is because in the digital environment, the content and flow is fixed, unless you have actually built in adaptive learning. More often than not, digital learners don't have a choice about how they work through the knowledge and skills that you have designed. For example, in this course, we have developed a structure which we believe to be logical and pedagogically sound, but we won't have any way of testing this until we ask you for your feedback and look at the analytics. If we were in the same room and this was a 1-hour workshop, I may have a plan, but I could adapt it quickly to the feedback coming in from the room. So you can clearly see my thinking and my approach through this course. I'm not sure about you, but it took me a while to realise that as an educator, I'm always designing. I think it's because we often call it a plan, which makes it sound very unsexy. A lesson plan, a workshop plan, but these are all designs. It appears that when the word learning is added to design, we suddenly accept that yes, an educator does design for learning regardless of where they are teaching. That is what we've been trained to do. The way we construct lessons, workshop, courses and programs all impact the learning outcomes and experiences for the learners. One thing to note in digital education is that people often use learning design and instructional design interchangeably. Oppida really prefers learning design, as it's an active and reciprocal word. It's a two-way process. After all, you may design some nice instruction, but if it isn't grounded in pedagogy, then the learner may not learn anything at all. So would you ask your doctor to design your company's logo? Would you ask your plumber? I would think not. You understand that in order to design an effective quality logo, the designer must have developed visual skills, understanding of colours and typefaces, and be able to use certain software to a high standard. Unfortunately, we often see organisations downplay the skills and knowledge needed to design learning for digital learners. Or worse, they don't even acknowledge that learning design is needed in the first place. Just like you can't be what you can't see, we think that it is really hard to design what you can't see and understand. So I urge you to take a minute now to think about the best and worst online learning that you have seen. It was probably quite easy, right? Some of the things that usually come up when we ask this question are: there was way too much text and I was overwhelmed. I had no idea where to start. The learning management system or the learning platform was a nightmare. There was so much irrelevant information I just gave up. I couldn't find anything I needed. Or the facilitator was boring, etc., etc. It's often easy for us to identify what doesn't work. It is harder to identify what does work because it's possible that you've never been quite satisfied with your digital learning experiences. So why is this? Well, let's consider that when radio was invented, they just read out articles from the newspaper until people started to design for the medium. The same with film. Originally, it was just theatre on camera, and then we decided to design for that medium. Digital has been around for about 15 to 20 years now, and there is no shortage of resources on best practice when it comes to digital design. But here at Oppida, we are interested in next practice, not just best practice. We want to raise the bar together by empowering everyone to do it better through collaboration and an innovation mindset. We want to take the mystery out of digital learning design by advocating for the important role that the learning designers now play. In a digital environment, learning designers are constantly navigating lots of design elements. Some of these include good pedagogy, user experience or UX, whole student experience, which we now call SX, constructive alignment, the art of curation, multimodal delivery, and of course, technology. Due to this large list, it can often feel overwhelming to get started in digital. It feels like there is so much to learn. But I do want to stress that as educators, you already have a great depth of knowledge and understanding. It's potentially just been in the context of a face-to-face environment. Or maybe you've worked somewhere where they chose a clunky or outdated platform or LMS, which left you feeling a little disheartened. Or maybe you just haven't seen what's possible when the right resources and investment is made. Either way, we hope that as awareness grows around the importance of quality learning design, we can all raise the bar together and create engaging, quality and pedagogically sound learning experiences online.